Alright. Thank you for joining me for the Waldo tutorial. This one I actually want to do some save states on to show you that this one's going to be a quick tutorial. But, for God's sakes. Okay. Now to the important game. Yeah, this one's gonna be... first thing to note about the tutorial for this game, you can't skip the screen. Doesn't matter. Can't do anything. You're gonna hear "Where's Waldo" 4 times, and that's when it's going to start. This game is seed-based on the frame you start the game, so basically what that means is just mash right away. If you mash right away and get the same patterns every time, the one pattern you're going to want is this one, specifically. You get Waldo to start just to your left, which means the scroll's going to be right here. There's only like 5 or 6 patterns, I think, for each stage, normally. And the way to win the game is to collect Waldo, which we did, and collect the scroll thing. And that's how you beat a stage. Now, there is another way to beat a stage that you need to avoid for the Big 20. There is a dog in the picture right here. If you see this dog, don't click on it. Because if you do, you get a little mini bonus stage where you get to collect points that you can't skip. You click the dog, you're gonna lose yourself a lot of time in this game. You're gonna lose yourself about 20 seconds a stage that you click on the dog. Because you still have to find Waldo. It's really not worth it. Not worth it at all. But, yeah, I have a save state at the beginning of the game. The thing is you can reset, but when it comes to resetting, you're not on the same frame as you were when from a fresh power on. It's important to practice this game from a fresh power on and not reset and do another run, because you will get different frame seeds. You need to play this game from power on every time. Yes. We'll go over the other items in the stage, which I think it's just a clock. I got the good pattern again. But there are other items in stages. Where's the clocks at? If you're having trouble finding the Waldo, you'll find these clocks. Each clock you get gives you a whole another, I don't know how many you get, 60 seconds or something per room. So each clock gives you an additional 60 seconds to search for the Waldo. And for the most part, Waldo is very obvious. The things that aren't obvious in the game are these scrolls. The scrolls tend to be the harder ones to find, specifically in the last level. What do you mean using a save state at reset, Jaguar? You mean like me resetting and then making a save state before I start the game? The thing about that would be, like, you'd have to reset on the same frame every time. You can't reset and speed up the intro. You still have to go through the entire intro in the game. You reset, I can't do anything again. There's no, like, quick-to-game reset, unfortunately. You still have to go through the intro. Okay, let's try a few more stages this time. My save state that I do have here is on a hard reset. Or power on. Alright, let's see what we get. Okay, we got the good pattern machine. Waldo's here, and the scroll is here. Let's do a different pattern. Yeah, power on, and save state. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I did, specifically. I made a save state at this screen, so I didn't have to wait for it every single time. There's no difference in it. This frame count starts the same every time you power on the game. Alright, let's get a bit of a different seed. Just to show that there is indeed different patterns for Waldo. Another quick pattern of this game would be if you see the scroll to the right at the beginning, this is the other good one. Waldo's going to be right, just to the right here. Yeah, for practice it's perfect. But yeah, Waldo will be right here. What I would do for most of this game is just, like, I would save ahead of the current stage and then load it at different times to get different patterns, so you can learn the different patterns. The two patterns I know best are the ones where you get Waldo right to the left at the beginning right here, or the scroll right to the right at the beginning you get here. And you should get this pattern every time on fresh power-up if you just hit A right away. It should be one of those two patterns. Oh, I didn't actually get it that time. See, you gotta learn them all. See, there's the dog this time. This is why you have to learn multiple patterns. Like, the scroll's up here this time. I think Waldo's, yep, Waldo's to the left in this tower area. Where's Waldo? Alright, now we're gonna continue past the first stage. Oh, here's another pattern. I think the first stage has, like, the most variance in patterns that, that actually matter. Most of the other stages are much more predictable, I would say, than the first stage. Specifically, like, the wizard level, when I end up showing it off. The snake level, you see where the scroll location is? Waldo is almost always the opposite of where the scroll is located on the screen, so if the scroll's on the left side, he'll be on the right. But Waldo's different on this screen specifically. If Waldo's, like, here, then the scroll's probably going to be all the way in the upper left. I can go over, like, each different pattern and stuff like that, but this one is really just run through it for maybe an hour or two, and you'll start seeing all the patterns. You'll just start seeing all the different patterns in each level. And when I'm going slow like this, I'm going to be getting different patterns. I think this is the level where the scroll and Waldo are on the same side as always, yeah. Waldo and the scroll, on this stage specifically, tend to appear on the same side. I don't specifically know why. But, I know, sometimes the game works like that. I'm actually having a little trouble finding the scroll here. There's the dag. Oh yeah, I was right. It's all the way on the top right. Again, that one usually always has Waldo and the scroll on the same side. This one is different. Okay, if you see the dog here, then that means the scroll's gonna be down here. And Waldo should be on the bottom of the screen. Yeah, see, that's just another pattern that you know what happens right away. Just by looking at one of the locations. Another one for this one would be like a scroll here, and then Waldo would be up on top here. There's another one where the scroll is here, and then Waldo's on the bottom left of the screen. It's all pattern-based. There's only a few seeds for each stage in this game. This is the last stage. This is definitely the hardest stage to see the scroll in. I would suggest looking for the sock first, and not the scroll. Because wherever the sock spawns on this level, you're not actually looking for Waldo, you're looking for one of his different colored socks. So wherever his sock is, it's a good chance that the scroll's going to be on the opposite side of the level. So you grab his sock. And the scroll on this one is behind Waldo. See? It's right there. But it looks it's really hard to see. Yes, exactly, Jaguar King. This is why you look for the sock first in this level, because the scroll will be pretty much on the opposite side of the level. The scroll will hide here, it'll hide between his arms here. There's a lot of them that end up spawning like between their arms right here. These are the kind of locations you have to look at. when you're looking for the scroll on this stage. But this is the last stage. By the way, you hit B to stop the score, and then you go on. And that's the entire game. There's only 5 stages. It's very quick. The record in this is 38 seconds. It could probably come down a couple more seconds if you really wanted to grind it out. Now let me do a speed run here. Let's see if we can find. Smash A on the screen. We got the good pattern, which means the scroll's gonna be right here. Hit B, hit A, hit A. Waldo's here, so it's a good chance the scroll's all the way to the right. No, wait. Nope, that's wrong. There's the dog. When Waldo appears to the left, as I said earlier, when Waldo appears on the side, the scroll is generally on that side, on that level. Same with this one scroll on that side. There's Waldo. Really simple. Just look for the patterns. There's a scroll, which means he's about right there. And now we do the last stage. Well, this is the one I looked for in my record run. I look for the scroll up here, and when you don't find the scroll up here, I look for socks on this side. But the scroll's up here, which means the sock is going to be down here right about now. And that's going to be the whole run. And that's Where's Waldo? There's not a whole lot to this game. It's basically from power on, make a save state, and mash A at the beginning and take note of all the different patterns you get. Because you're never going to be frame perfect after maybe the first stage, and even then, like, you gotta just mess around with all the stuff, all the different patterns in the stages. Again, there's only a few. There really isn't that many. I would say like 5 or 6 patterns at most for each level. And maybe the first level is the only one that it really matters in. I swear there's only like 2 or 3 patterns for every other stage after the first level, including the last stage. The last stage is going to be the one that gives you the most trouble. That's just the way it is. I think you can actually pick your stages in this game, but I would advise against it. There's no reason to switch stages. I would just stick to the specific order that it gives you because it's the fastest. But yeah, again, just to go over it one more time. I have no idea what seat I'm on now. Wait. No, I didn't miss it. Okay. You have no idea what seat I'm on now, so we'll just, where's Waldo at? Okay. But, yeah, I would just suggest going over all the patterns and just getting used to it. It's not a hard game. The one that's going to throw people through the loop the most, I'll go over just one really quick time, so this game is so fast. The one that's going to throw people through a loop so much is the last level. Again, Waldo there, that means the scroll's going to be right up here. The last level, like, it's really not bad either. It sucks at first getting used to the last level, but once you actually have a good idea of what to look for, it's not bad. Yeah, I didn't get the scroll up top this time. There's the scroll. You really have to look in the background specifically. I would still look for the sock first. But again, they're going to be opposite of each other in that stage. You find the sock on one side, definitely pay attention to the other side. That's the hardest stage is definitely the last one. I've never played Expert on this yet, no. I don't know the specific differences on Expert, and it wasn't for the marathon, so I didn't try it yet. But it's a pretty fun, neat, short game. You'll probably be able to get it under a minute with an hour or so of practice. You'll start to recognize patterns. Like, even, like, set patterns on stages are the same, specifically on how they're done. Like, the scroll will be on the left, so Waldo will be on the left, or Waldo will be on the left, so the scroll will be on the right. Or the sock will be on the left, so the scroll will be on the right, you know. Expert run coming? Alright, we can do one expert run, why not? We'll do it for fun. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy! He was way tucked behind there. That's interesting. And there's the scroll. I can see why this is already going to be way harder. So I assume he's on this side somewhere. Oh, that was the dog. I almost clicked on it. That would have been bad. Okay, an expert, I guess it's a little different. Tickled man? What? What the heck? What just happened? What's the tickled man? Oh my goodness. Alright, maybe I just missed him on this side. Smiling rock? What are these things? Is that Waldo? I swear that... No, that's the dog. What are these? What is the smiling rock? I can't do anything. Oh, do I actually have to find that on the screen? The smiling rock? Oh, let's just click all the rocks. Oh, I see it. I see what they are. I see. They're little bonus games. That's kind of fun. It's kind of fun for the extra mode. I have enough clocks. I just need to find... There he is. Tricky, man. Tricky. Tricky. Alright. Oh, let's look at the first screen here. There's the scroll, so I assume he's on the right side. Judging by earlier Waldo runs. There he is. Alright. There's the scroll, so I assume he's on this side. I really think, for the most part, that it's just the same kind of patterns. They just kind of tuck them behind places. The last stage is gonna be the real hard one. Here we go. Comes the last stage. Boy. The thing is, I don't even know where to look on this one for the scroll, specifically. Oh, the scroll's in the same place. Is it the same thing? It's the same thing on the last stage. Never mind. GG. So, it makes the first 4 stages harder, and then makes the last stage a breeze. Alright, well, there's the Great Waldo search on Expert. The difference is they just tuck them way behind people, and the scrolls, they also tuck like half between everyone. Kind of like the last stage. So, not a real big difference. If you wanted to go for the Expert World Record, I think it's like 45 seconds or something like that. It should be just as fast as the, it should be able to sub 40 it, just like the other one. But yeah, those are the tutorials for me today. That's the Great Waldo search. Very simple, short game. It's fun, though. Going for record in this game is very fun. But that's going to be it for the tutorials for me today, so thank you for joining me here today. If you have any more questions about Gradius or Waldo, you can just ask me now or hit me up whenever I'm streaming. Not a problem. I love doing the tutorials. I know a lot of people have trouble with Gradius, but there's no RNG in it. So just